All right, everybody. So now that my YouTube channel is growing, I'm getting hit up left and right by potential sponsors to pitch their products on my channel. I'm not opposed to sponsorships in general, and in fact, I do have some sponsorship deals in the works right now, but I am carefully vetting them. I wouldn't want to recommend anything on this channel that I don't think would be helpful to my viewers just to make a quick buck. So I was cleaning out my inbox, and I saw an email I got in July, actually, from somebody from a company called Allec Finance. He says, "Hey, Logan, the well-informed content in your YouTube videos caught my attention and keeps me coming back to your channel. My name is," he puts his name there, I blurred it out. "I am the co-founder of Allec Finance. We are a 6% savings account alternative. Ironically, while watching a video of yours today, I noticed someone commented about using and recommending the Allec app, so I took that as a sign to reach out. Being of like minds, genuinely wanting to help others make more money and learn the best ways to do so, I am pleased to offer you the opportunity to become a partner in our exclusive influencer program. We have been inviting a select few YouTubers to be a premier partner." He mentioned another prominent financial YouTuber and says this YouTuber's name. He says this person recently created a video about Allec. Take a look when you have a moment. "Videos like this are what we're looking for from our premier partners. I love to connect and see what we can do together. Let's schedule a 15-minute call to discuss everything over the phone or on Google Hangouts. When are you available? Looking forward to hearing from you. All the best," and then he signs his name. Well, okay, so I look at this and I think, wow, 6% in a savings account alternative. That's interesting to say the least. If it's legit, I would love to tell you about it. I mean, you could earn more in the stock market over the long run than 6%, but 6% in a savings account, which one would think is less risky than the stock market, hey, that sounds great. So I decided to do a little bit of digging into the savings account alternative, and I went to Allec Finance's website to discover what it's really about. The first thing I noticed on the Allec website is that they claim to give users more money by cutting out middlemen. This was a little surprising because the website also states that whatever you put into Allec is routed directly to third parties. In other words, Allec might get a cut, but they don't actually hold on to your money. Of course, this means that Allec is actually, in a sense, the middleman, in my opinion. So I'm not sure why they claim to be getting rid of middlemen. To me, that sounds more like marketing rather than anything substantive. From there, I wanted to know where my money would go and who they're working with. And I found out that your Allec funds are stored in ERC20, which is an Ethereum token. If you don't know, Ethereum is a kind of cryptocurrency, kind of like Bitcoin. So immediately, that was kind of a concern to me to have no mention of cryptocurrencies in the email I received, and then learned on the website that this is actually an Ethereum project. But again, I didn't want to rush to judgment, so I tried to keep learning about their business model, and it turns out that Allec savings accounts are not FDIC insured. The FDIC, or Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, covers people with checking accounts, savings accounts, money market accounts, and other types of accounts for up to $250,000 in case the bank or financial institution is unable to give you your money. So if your bank goes under and your account is insured by the FDIC, you'll get full compensation for up to $250,000. Allec does not have that FDIC insurance, so you won't have any recourse if they go out of business, at least not from the government, okay? And this business model seems a bit risky. So yeah, the app says the accounts are covered but not insured, and it's covered with supposedly the best available coverage on the assets deposited through Allec. Now, another concerning thing, I'm not going to say red flag here, but a yellow flag that I saw is that when I downloaded the app, before I even signed up, the Allec app said that accounts are covered up to $50,000, but there's no mention of this $50,000 limit here in this coverage section of the website. That was a little bit concerning to me, to say the least. But however much the coverage is for, let me read some of the details of that coverage. Again, this is from the Allec website. "Lending risks are mitigated due to the fact that the loans your money goes toward backing are all over collateralized, meaning that for every dollar our lending partners loan out, there is over $1 being held by them. Let's follow this example on how lending risks are mitigated. You give Allec $100. We then give this money to our lending partner who has a loan with collateral worth $130. If the collateral price were to dip below the $100 plus the rewarded interest, we liquidate the loan and make sure that the lender, the Allec user, is made whole. This ensures that any funds loaned on Allec are safe from default." I think the easiest way to describe this model is that you give your money to Allec, they give it to a third-party lender, and you get some of the interest on their loans. Of course, 6% is a really excellent return if it's reliable, but there's also a decent amount of risk involved here, and basically Allec tries to minimize those risks by working with lenders who have enough collateral to cover your investment. That's great It's an interesting concept, but I'm not sure I would trust it to the same degree I would trust an FDIC insured savings account, right? So it turns out that Allec works with a company called Nexus Mutual for insurance, or coverage actually. So I did a little more research on them to get a better idea of the coverage offered by Allec Finance. This is actually a blockchain-based alternative to conventional insurance. So again, it's not quite what you would expect from typical savings account coverage. Nexus is designed to help multiple parties distribute the risks of smart contract failure without the need for a centralized insurance company. Smart contracts are what outlets and many other businesses use to verify conditions for certain actions. So for example, the outlet smart contract might be designed to return collateral for the loan if it drops below the initial value. I'll put a link to the Nexus website in the description if you want to read more about their model, but here's one thing that stood out to me about their product, which is called Smart Contract Cover. The mutual may pay a claim under this smart contract cover if the designated smart contract address, or a directly related smart contract address in the case of a smart contract system, suffers a hack during the cover period that is a direct result of its smart contract code being used in an unintended way. What that tells me is that Nexus Insurance only applies to problems with the smart contracts themselves. So if for some reason you don't get your collateral back, someone compromises Allec, the system doesn't work in some way, Nexus will help you recover what you should have received. On the other hand, if the collateral itself loses its value, whether it's Ethereum or some other digital asset, well, you aren't going to have any meaningful coverage there. That's the investment risk here. Sure, you'll get the money back in Ethereum, but that's not really helpful if Ethereum isn't worth as much anymore. Again, this isn't to say that you can't earn good returns with Allec, but your account won't be covered in the same way a Bank of America savings account would be. Of course, FDIC coverage depends on the dollar staying relevant, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the dollar is a lot more reliable than a currency like Ethereum. Ultimately, in my opinion, what Allec offers is closer to lending rather than savings, and in my view, they understate the risks involved by branding themselves as a savings account alternative. As the website says, it looks, acts, and feels like a savings account, but I'm going to go here and say this is not a savings account in the usual sense. That said, Allec could be worth considering if you do understand the risks here and treat it like an investment and not as a secure way to hold your money like an FDIC-backed savings account. So now I want to take a closer look at what Allec offers and how it compares to some of the alternatives. First things first, Allec really does look and feel like a savings account in some ways, and it advertises many of the features you would expect with an account from a bank. The app is available in both the App Store and Google Play. Unfortunately, when I was trying to play around with it, there's no support for browser access right now. You can learn about Allec on the website, which you can find in the description below, but you'll still have to download the app on your mobile device if you want to create an account. There's also no dedicated iPad app, so it will just scale up the iPhone version if you try to access your account on an iPad. At least that was my experience. This could be a pretty significant drawback considering how many savings accounts and other financial services are available online, but it won't be a big deal if you bank exclusively on your phone. Now, Allec does support ACH transfers, which are one of the most common methods of moving money from one account to another. You can connect another account through Plaid, which works with thousands of banks and financial institutions, including Wells Fargo, Chase, Citibank, Bank of America. Personally, I was able to link Allec to my bank account in just a few minutes, so you shouldn't have any trouble getting Allec to work with your existing account if it's at a major bank. That said, I do want to point out that Allec expects transfers to take 5 full days to arrive in your account, so make sure you send your transfers in advance. When I created my Allec account, I saw that the annual interest rate was actually higher than the 6% I found on the website. So the interest rate could vary depending on market conditions, so it's hard to say what it will be at any given time. Now, one potential problem I noticed when I use the app is that Allec doesn't offer much information about its support services. I sent a question and got a response saying they would be back tomorrow, but it didn't give me business hours, an estimated wait time, or any other information. They did get back to me the next day, but it just didn't feel all that transparent. There are a few preset questions you can ask a bot, but Allec really doesn't provide much information, which is unfortunate considering how unusual their business model is. It would have been nice to learn more about the service and see a little more transparency, especially considering how unusual this kind of thing is for the average person. All things considered, Allec wasn't exactly what I would expect from a savings account alternative, but it's offering a lot of interesting features that makes it a unique option in this space. Allec promises a decent interest rate. It's more of a return, in my opinion, on an investment than really an an interest rate, just savings account, and it doesn't have any hidden fees that I could see. So like I mentioned earlier in the video, if you're going to use Outlet, I would think of it as an investment account instead of as a savings account, especially if there's a chance you'll need the money in the near future. I would not keep my emergency fund in Outlet, okay? Let me just say that much. But I might consider throwing in some extra cash to diversify more my portfolio, given that I already have a portfolio of much more stable assets like stocks and real estate. You can see the link at the top of your screen for a video I put together on investing for stocks for beginners. So overall, Outlet is a potentially high risk option, but it does make crypto lending more accessible to inexperienced users. There are some drawbacks, or at least concerns, that I hope I've made clear throughout this video. I'm going to put a little bit of money in it for fun, but I'm not going to put any substantial amount of my money into Outlet Finance at this time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.